welcome everybody.
Again, is this still? You know what I did? I forgot. There we go. That'll solve that problem.
welcome. There's Crow. He's tinkering things.
I forgot I left the page with the this live stream open. So that's why it was doubling.
Yep. Fun technical difficulties, and then we have Pete who ran to get coffee. He's probably back by now.
Yeah, you didn't want to wait for him. It's like I got 2 minutes, and then you started the show.
It's all good. He'll be back. He'll be back in time. So yeah, that was the new Evercast theme got together once again. Genejoke. So I hope you all like it. So yeah, we do have a lot of cool things to talk about today. The great thing is Pete doesn't know about the arcade cart update. So
he's been so busy. He hasn't. He didn't even know there were new carts announced.
Yeah. So I think that's great. Who do we have here in the chat? And we have Rasta. Oh yeah. He's been obsessed with Vampire Survivors, breaking it.
Hey, I'm almost done.
Got channel member Nathan Foster, channel member Lloyd JRN. Hey, Dan Nastic, haven't seen you in a while, buddy. All right, great to have you here. Another channel member. Whoop whoop. Got another channel member, Annie Piranha. Oh, so sorry that you have COVID. Hope you get well soon there. Yes, Genejoke. I was just talking about you. So yeah, I hope you like that cut that I put together. I was just telling Crow backstage I'll have to do a music video to the longer version because I think the rest of the lyrics are cool, kind of like how you talk about all of us, but I can't squeeze that into 40 seconds. Another channel member, we got DF in the house, and we always have the one, the only, infamous Ian Hobbies in the house. Oh, great. Awesome. Thank you. Got Archive Gig, and we have a channel member who's an Evercade fanboy. And then, yes, the channel member Column, and then another channel member, Ever Canadian Pete, which I think he might be back from getting coffee.
Yes, I am back.
Awesome.
I need the coffee.
Coffee, yep, gotta have.
Who's Evercadians? Man, that's pretty close to my name. I'll have to change my channel name.
Uh-oh. There's somebody do it appear.
I think they do Evercade only content.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah.
I think so. I think I've seen their channel. Cool. I think so.
Yeah. Maybe it's
You got competition. You got competition, Ed. Ban him now.
Oh,
Joking.
Yeah. Oh my God. It'll crack me up. So how's everybody doing? I know we were talking backstage and busy weeks and stuff like that.
Crazy, man.
A busy week too, yeah.
Every week is busy for me, but yeah, I have literally not spent any time on the interwebs and intertubes. I haven't done really anything on YouTube either, so it's been this weekend might be busy for me just to do some content, I think, but I don't know.
Gotcha.
So behind in content, but I was telling Ed and Crow before the show started that the Vancouver Retro Game Expo is happening this weekend. It's the first time in, I don't know, 10 years I won't be able to go to it. But it sucks.
So sad. Well, if you are able to sneak in, just tell John Hancock hi from all.
Yeah. The reason if I do pop over and see it, it would, I definitely go see John Hancock.
Yeah, he's a cool guy.
Yeah, he's there every year. I think he's the biggest YouTuber that goes there every year.
Nice. Yeah, he goes to a lot of conventions and whatnot. It's
a good opportunity for him to obviously meet and greet people, but he sells a lot of his games there too, right? So it's a good business opportunity for him. Plus, they pay him to go there, right? To be on a panel, and be in the show, right? It's like all of those YouTubers who do retro go to show. They get paid to go there. It's like they're celebrities, right? For that little niche of the world. Say what you want about them, they are. I enjoy meeting those people.
Yeah, they're living the dream.
Living the dream. Yeah, but it's a dream that you gotta hustle, right?
For sure.
I don't know if I want that to be my only way to make a living.
No.
It'd be really stressful, right?
No, I wouldn't want that either. But no, it'd just be cool to get just to be able to get invited to something like that.
But imagine, right? Like that's your way. You have to. That's a lot of stress. It's like I always say that guy RG85 when he gave up his career to be a be a YouTuber, I mean, that takes balls, right? Because like he gave up a 9-to-5 job to become a full-time YouTuber. Man, oh man, that's
really depends on how much you like your job, though, too. You know.
Yeah, I know, but still, to go from back then, he did it like 100,000 subscribers, probably making hardly anything a month, to give up a job. That takes a big commitment in yourself, and kind of some mad respect. But you know, it's easier if you don't have kids and that stuff too, I guess, right?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, no. I know what you mean, especially. Dude, especially like at 100,000 subs,
that's like, you know, mad respect, right? Like you know, we all know what we're all monetized. We all know what 1,000 views gets us on average, right? It's like
not even a cup of coffee.
It's like $1.
I don't get 1,000 views per average.
It used to be a cup of coffee. I wish I got 1,000 views at an average. Jeez.
Except my last video, which has been just crazy. So
mine has been gross. Like that's the point, right? I put up content I want to do, and they're not necessarily aligned with what people would like.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Like, I did a Suicide Squad video on Steam Deck because I wanted to try the game, but I wasn't going to pay $100 for it when it came out. So I picked it up for like $20. And I'm like, yeah, now it's kind of worth it, but nobody cares about that game, right? But I do. I actually enjoyed parts of it, but is it worth $30? No. Well, I'm talking Canadian money here, by the way, so that's funny money. That's worth like $1.50 American, right?
It's probably like $20.
Yeah. So it's like 70 cents on the dollar, right? But
plus, I think aren't your taxes included in the price?
No, that's only Europe. Yeah. So
I was thinking it was Canada too.
The regular price for a AAA game in Canada is $89 on average, plus $10 taxes.
I mean, if you're looking at it now, I think normally it's like $70 here.
Yes,
You guys used to be $60 for the longest time, and I think they just raised it. Like
it's weird, right? Like, but a lot of games go down in price like right away, right?
Like within like 1 or 2 months, like you could get it.
At least on PC they do.
Like if you go to GameSpot.ca, right? Like, and you just grab PlayStation 5 and you grab a game on, I don't know, Spider-Man 2 is for new, it's $89.99. But then you get games like Helldivers 2, which is $49, but the new Final Fantasy is $89. So the real price is $89, but you get a lot of AA games that are $59 or $49.
Yeah, it's really funny that PlayStation 5 has been out for like almost 3.5 years now, and I've not seen one game for it that made me say, "Oh, I need to play that game." That wasn't already available somewhere else, you know?
I 100% hear what you're saying, because I still play more of my games on Xbox because the Game Pass, I own Game Pass Ultimate, so I can play games on PC and Xbox. But I'm not really interested in the exclusives on PlayStation 5. So I do understand people who love those exclusives. It's worth it. But there's like Diablo 3, for example. That's Xbox for me because it's on Game Pass. Yeah, and all the expansions will be on Game Pass.
The exclusives that PlayStation has aren't the ones that they were popular, and so they don't make those games anymore. Like I'm talking about like Wipeout or Everybody's Golf. Those were the games that really like.
Yeah, but I mean they're making the newer popular ones like God of War, Last
Yeah, exactly.
You know, that's what I mean, right? And that's what the kids want these days, or people.
And these days you can actually play God of War on PC.
But that's not my jam, right? Like I want Resistance Fall of Man. Like, I want a new Resistance game. If you guys remember that from PS3, Resistance 1, 2, and 3, probably the three greatest underrated shooters of the PS3. And it's retro, so we can talk about it. Have you remembered those?
I would say, speaking of retro, let me put the trailer here so we can watch for like the two new to cart announcements, since Pete hasn't seen that. I think that'll be...
Yeah, I haven't seen the new carts. I was surprised when they told me there was new carts today, and I'm like, yay! I hope it's not.
It was like they announced them on Wednesday, which was funny because I had that day off, but I wound up working anyway.
Oh, I got a question. Did they get leaked again? And they forced to leak a line?
Yes. Oh,
okay.
Yep.
That's okay.
Allegedly, or it could be planned. But
I think they're leaking them. They're making it so people can find it. No, well, you found it.
Yeah. Very good. Plan leaks.
So there's two trailers, right? So this is the Data East one, isn't it? Yeah, it looks like the Data East.
Oh, one. Data East has got Arcade collection.
Yeah, Arcade 2.
Which we kind of knew was coming, right? Because they had Arcade 1.
Well, there's still tons of ones that don't have a
Joe and
2
Mac
yet.
Returns.
This is the one that seemed really weird to me. Like, what is
Midnight
that?
Resistance? We got the console version of that.
Yeah, we got the Genesis version. So some of these, Crude Buster is actually 2 crude dudes that we got already. So that's the arcade version. B-Wings, I'm not 100% familiar with that one. Super Burger Time. You don't see that one often. That was in the Wii version of.
I haven't seen these 2 games before. Last Mission. I played Last Mission.
Super Real Darwin.
I haven't played that.
I don't know.
I think there's about 3 or 4 games on
yeah.
there definitely I recognize, and I'd be interested to play. I've seen a lot of differences with Midnight Resistance, because usually the Genesis versions of arcade games are usually better sometimes than the.
It depends. It really depends.
I'm hoping we get better controls with that they.
Oh, that's cool. That'll make sense now. So, like with the new systems coming out, the new Alpha, the new arcade cards.
There's one more.
Yeah, I think that was pretty good.
So this is
7 phenomenal. Wow, you're using the word phenomenal.
Well,
Toaplan. Oh, Toaplan, nice.
Yeah.
And this actually has Toaplan's best game on it.
Batsugun. Yeah, I've played that before.
And Batsugun Special
Is that
version.
2 games?
Yeah, it's 2 separate games. Batsugun Special version was never officially released as an arcade game. It was included in ports, like to the Saturn and stuff.
But we all know my favorite shooters or shoot 'em ups, as the kids say, are vertical shooters. So this is really cool. I like that.
Yeah, and actually every single game on this is a tate mode game.
Yeah, which is weird because the Alpha doesn't have talking mode.
Which I thought of that too. It's like, but you know what? I don't think you're gonna notice it as much because it's not the Alpha doesn't have a wide screen. It's not 16:9. It's 4:3.
Yeah.
So you're gonna still get black bars on the side, but it's not gonna be as noticeable as it would be if the screen was 16:9.
Yeah, it's interesting that the EXP has been out going 2 years now, and they got this one is all tate mode. Plus the new XPRs are coming out. So yeah, it's not bad. I mean, to be honest with you, that's pretty cool. They're all vertical shooters, but I still think Data East is probably one I'm going to gravitate more towards just because it has more variety of games. But
there is,
I hope we put Data East 1 and 2 into the VS. We unlock something. I'm hoping
one of those Toaplan games is not a shoot 'em up. It's like a breakout game.
Their trailers. They need to work on the length of their trailers. Their trailers are really too short. You can't by the time you look at a game and they flip to a new one.
Honestly, I'm fine with it being a minute long.
So,
well, I guess if they just want replays and stuff, but I don't know.
Well, so here's what's interesting.
All that's really important is getting the list of the games, and then if you're really interested in some of those games, you can look it up yourself.
Yeah, true. But they could be a little bit. But so what's it like? It's my fault for the leaks because right before the leaks, I put up this poll of what people would have wanted, and then in the poll, somebody said, "Oh yeah, we're getting Data East and Toaplan 3." So
wait
I don't know.
3 days ago. What was 3 days ago? Was that Wednesday or was that Thursday? Did you post this?
I can't
remember. They put out the trailer on Wednesday, which means they had to have made the trailer before then.
Yeah.
What's the difference between the 2 Batsuguns? Because I'm not a big fan of that. If it's just minimal.
Batsugun Special version is kind of like a remix in a way. It has I'm not 100% sure, and I looked it up, and your hitbox is smaller in the special version, but there's more the second version loops, and every loop it gets harder. Yeah. I guess the first version doesn't have a loop. I guess maybe there's just a game ending. Yeah,
I just think having 2 of the same game on there, I don't know, that kind of feels a little cheapy.
But you know what? I'm fine with it because here's the thing. One version of it was never released officially.
Okay, well that's different. I'd rather just have that one than 2 of it.
Yeah, and secondly, the reason it was never released is because Batsugun is Toaplan's last game. They went out of business shortly after that was released.
Oh, okay.
It's also their best, and it's also their best game. It's also arguably their best shooter.
All right, it'll be a collectible then, kind of like in a way. So
yeah.
Well,
Hey,
here's
I
the
don't
thing:
think
it's
they're
not
bad
like
cards.
it's not like we haven't gotten the special version before, because like when it was released on Saturn, it included that version as well.
Oh.
So people have played it.
We played that on Saturn. So, but yeah, so this just kind of confirms, and I keep saying like people really want like arcade cards. That's all. That's kind of the like people are they're more excited about that than the Super Pocket announcement. And
there's a
I
Super
asked them,
Pocket announcement.
No,
nice.
he's saying that. What are you looking forward to? Arcade cards,
Yeah,
computer cards, or Super?
I'd
Pockets?
really like the Super Pocket announcement.
Rest of the year cart announcements. What does that
Yeah,
mean?
right. Oh well, I mean, hey, Gandalf. No, what I mean, like
What's up?
this like you just curious what else they're going to announce for the rest of the year.
Yeah, I'd like to
didn't
have
you
more
include-
Super Count announcements. Super.
Why didn't you include console carts as
Super
like an option? The option should have been red carts, purple carts, blue carts, or Super Pockets.
Yeah, we were just going through Richard playing the trailers for Pete because he was really busy this week, and now
He had no idea that there were new.
I had no
cards
idea
announced.
until the boys told me there was new cards coming, and I'm like, really? I'm like, awesome. I'm down with that.
Yeah, it was like it was almost a stealth announcement, right? It's kind of weird.
And actually, well, with that, so I was going to say that they did also confirm in Discord that they are going to finally add dip switches, and it's not just going to be for the Evercade Alpha. It'll be for everything in the firmware.
Yeah.
They're finally going to add.
But it's not everything.
They've been working on that for a while, but
it doesn't say it'll be available on the original. It says EXP and VS, and at the same time it's available for the Alpha. So it seems like that's going to roll out in November when the Alphas are released.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
but it doesn't say. But it doesn't say it's going to be available for the original EXP or your Super Pockets.
Yeah.
Well, the original one they stopped updating. Yeah. And technically, Super Pockets has an easy mode, but you won't be able to. I don't think they want you to be able to customize it as much.
Hey, you know what? I wonder if it's going to be available for the Capcom arcade games that are built into the EXP.
I think so. Yeah. Hey, Roger. I think so.
Roger.
I'm lukewarm on the whole Tomb Raider thing because I remember playing the first game and
they're really a beast. Yeah. I'm with you, Crow.
My favorite thing was making Lara, or however you pronounce it, because I used to say Lara Croft naturally, but it's not Laura, it's Lara.
It's Lara.
I've never heard of anybody named Lara, so.
I'm kind of.
My favorite thing was just making her. When I found out you can make her swan dive headfirst into concrete ground, I was like, awesome.
Yeah, I'm not a huge Tomb Raider fan. Like, I'm not a huge Tomb Raider fan on the PlayStation, so this is not for me. Those collections, it's cool, they're coming, but all I remember is playing them back in the day, and the camera controlled like ass, and I'm like, I don't like that.
To be honest, I'm more looking forward to them now than I was when they were first announced, because since then I've played that Duke Nukem Collection 2 that had that Time to Kill and Land of the Babes that were very Tomb Raider-esque.
Yeah.
It turned out I kind of liked those, so who knows? Maybe I'll wind up liking the Tomb Raider games as well. I only played the very first one on PlayStation before, so supposedly I think the second and third ones are better. So we'll see.
Yeah, usually sequels are better just from a game polish standpoint, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Now here's something else that was teased, and I don't know. Of course, StreamYard is being dumb. Let's see if I can share this. It may look all pixelated to hell. Okay, so this was when me and I think Rich, this was during I think this was during Karg, or either when I went live. I don't know. Everything blurs together, but I'll have to like see if I can zoom in. I'll have to like read that, but and I saved this.
You could have just read it and not put it on the screen, you know.
Yeah,
I know. But it's easier.
But that's fine. I can read it myself.
So no, well, I'm going to do both. So no, Genejoke was saying that Pete from Blaze, I guess like in Discord or Facebook, whatever, was saying that for the rest of the year, like one card is much requested, another one is largely expected, one will be big and a welcome surprise, and one will be a wild card. So like,
well, you know what that means to me? That to me, from that statement, all four of them are wild cards because I have no idea what
exactly
they were requesting.
Yeah, yeah, and I'm not sure like. You can narrow down wildly requested to
is that like
cards?
Yeah, who widely requested it? Like, European players who want.
That's exactly what I said. That's exactly what I said to Ed before you popped on.
Yeah. It's like, is it from Europe or from North America? Because if it's North America, it's probably the Activision collection. That like from me and Rich.
Yeah. But if it's European, it's probably a Spectrum collection or something.
A Spectrum collection, because everybody wants that garbage games from the Spectrum.
I can't speak. I haven't really played the Spectrum games that I played were on the Rare Replay collection that was on the Xbox. So that's my only really real experience with those Spectrum games.
I watched TJ's videos. TJ is a big Spectrum guy and on YouTube, really good channel, and he plays Spectrum a lot. And I'm like, ugh. God, those games are horrible.
You know what? Now you know what the youth of today thinks about retro games.
Yeah,
true. I'm hoping that, I'm hoping requested. I'm thinking maybe we finally get like a Namco or Sega or SNK, or maybe even Konami. Because
you know what?
Unless Konami's going to be a Super Pocket, and then largely expected. I was thinking like Tomb Raider 2.
Yeah, why have we not heard about this Super Pocket? Like, it's June. Yeah. Like, did it flop so badly that they're just going to quietly let it die? Like, that's what I think.
I mean, it's possible. It's possible. Because I still think $60 was a little bit too much for those things.
I honestly think they're not talking about it because it did so poorly. They're hoping we'll all forget about the Super Pocket.
And they haven't been talking about
Global Hyper Meganet
either.
Yeah. Home Computer Heroes too. Yeah. No, God, no. No Pico 5, no.
No, I would say no Gremlin 2 either. Or Gremlin 3.
Gremlin 3, yeah.
But a lot of people love the Gremlin collection. It means like the worst one.
I only want Gremlin to exist just because I would have so much fun doing content on that. I would like
the only Gremlin collection I want to see is the one that has Gizmo in it.
Right?
Or Mogwai.
Yeah, Mogwai. His name was Gizmo, right?
He called him Gizmo, but he's a Mogwai.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Because I'm getting a little confused because I've been watching What We Do in the Shadows and they keep calling that one guy Gizmo.
I don't know, Crow. What do you do in the shadows?
What we do in the shadows. I'm in the shadows right now. I'm doing this.
I'd love more Super Pockets, Mike. I want more Super Pockets.
Yeah. Hey, should remember my cockers. Oh, yeah, I know. I'm hoping September, so we should be seeing that soon.
But here's the thing: is they're already announcing stuff for November. So didn't they miss if they were going to announce Super Pockets?
Yeah. I think they make it up as
when did they announce those last year? Exactly. When did they announce those? I mean, it should be about the same time this year if they were going to do it.
Reloaded.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Okay, Loaded and Reloaded. I'll give a pass on that one. Yeah, I like those games. They're kind of a little bit dated these days, but I'd be okay with that.
And I'll keep beating this drum. If anything, the one, if I had to say the one criticism or my hill to die on with Blaze is the fact the only consistent thing about them is that they're inconsistent. And for a small company who has direct control over everything, it baffles me that they're like this. I don't understand it, at all.
Well, I don't say they're a small company anymore with the amount of sales they got. They're like a medium company.
Yeah.
You know what? You think it might just be them, but it's not. There are other companies I've been following that are very... You just don't know when they're going to announce anything or when they're coming out or anything. Zen Studios is kind of the same way.
We're just more critical about them because we talk about them every week, right? So
true.
Yeah, exactly. When you're hyper-focused on them...
When they did the showcase that year, they were that other year, they were so consistent. And then they, last year, they were a lot more consistent. And then they undid everything for some reason.
Because be honest, I really haven't I don't really think about what Blaze is doing most of the time, unless there's an announcement or we're talking about them right now. So I'm kind of forced to think about them at least once a week.
Yeah. I'm more focused actually on what's on sale. On games. That's right.
Yeah. It's like, this, I'm more looking forward to what's going to happen in the Steam sale next week than
me too.
Blaze is doing.
And that's why I've got two main hobbies, right? I'd say Evercade and hockey cards. And I think about them when I'm actively doing them, and that's it. You know what I mean? And that's what makes them a cool hobby for me. By the way, I really scored a really nice hockey card, so go check that out, man. Like a really nice hockey card the other day.
When did you put the video up for that?
It's up now.
What Like, is that your most recent video?
I don't know. It's that's a great question. Anyway, because they come out like you and I, we schedule them, right? So that one was that came out. It's called Bedard, McDavid, and more. So I pretty much ruined it in the title what I got. And if you know hockey, those are two of the best.
Yeah, and if you don't know hockey, then you really don't know anything.
Yeah, you don't really need to go watch it.
All I know about hockey is Wayne Gretzky.
Oh yeah, man, he's awesome. He's the man. He's the GOAT.
Yeah, the showcases. Yeah, thank you, Rob. I don't know. That's my main thing is that they just need to they should make it consistent. Like at the beginning of the month or end of the month, announce the game of the month. Have go ahead and show us the showcases. That's have more consistency.
Here's the thing, though: if everybody knows when they're going to announce things, then nobody's going to pay attention to them until the time where they're expecting something.
Yeah, I disagree because you're anticipating, you're waiting the hype. You're like, because I mean, that's pretty much what the chats is like. Everybody's like, oh, we're anticipating, we're waiting for the announcements and all that, and then it's like.
But if you know when the announcements are going to happen, then you're not going to pay attention until when the announcements happen.
I don't know. I think it's good on both fronts, right? Like people who want it to be there, then we know, and people who aren't, they're like, oh yeah, Evercade. And it's like when E3 and all that used to be consistent, or like when Nintendo does its Nintendo Direct. Like you want there to be consistency.
Yes, I would. I'm looking at one of the comments from Cody. Yeah, Jeff Minter collection. I bought that recently on Steam. The Jeff Minter.
Yeah. Like, remember when Blaze used to like tease stuff and play like arcade noises and have more secrets in the menus, and you know what I mean? I don't know. They used to. It
could be that there's secrets. If there's secrets in the menu, they're not supposed to announce what the secrets are. You're supposed to find them yourself.
No, but they'd give us hints though, like I forget what collection it was, like to unlock a game. That's what I'm saying is like the mystery and all that. Like they've stepped a little bit away from that. That's all. It's the really fun part. You know what I mean?
I think it's because they're growing. And they're too busy trying to chase all those deals.
It's growing pains.
I think that's really what it is. They're trying to chase all those deals, and they don't have time right now because they're working on all their stuff to get out the rest of the stuff for the year. They don't have time to play around with all the fun stuff. But,
True.
Who knows? Maybe they'll have all that stuff soon.
Like they announced 2 new cards this week, and you're complaining that they're not giving us enough information.
I could care less. There's too much information for me.
No, but then again, like the biggest complaint, which is legit, now we have to wait all the way to September. And that's where I say that they're doing it backwards. Like that they should have put their alpha and all this stuff should have come out, should have been ready, good to go at the beginning of the year.
I don't understand. That's way too far in advance, though. I think.
Like if somebody like if I was in charge of planning and product and development, or I would have pushed alpha to next, or I would have pushed it to next year because
you're only saying that because you don't care about the alpha.
No. I'm saying for hype though. Like they should have hyped it at the end of last year. It should have been this year. The arcade cart should have been first, then Tomb Raider, and then sprinkle and other stuff. It would have been a better.
How far in advance? So are you saying that? Wait, let me ask this. This announcement for these carts that are coming out in November. Are you saying that that these announcements came right on time, too early, or too late?
Too late.
So you think they should have announced these carts back in January?
I think no. Hey,
because you're saying the alpha comes out at the same time, and you're saying the alpha should have been announced back in January.
Well, the carts are really they're announcing stuff that we can't buy for a long time. You know what I mean? So
that's the point of the announcements. Like unless you want them to wait till November and say, "Hey, announcing Evercade Alpha, it's available now." You want them to do that?
No. So what I was we have July, and then there's I don't know, September's I know those had to come out in November because of the new hardware, but it's
what's coming in September? Do we know?
I don't know. You keep saying September. Yeah, I don't think they announced September yet, did they?
But they just announced November.
Yeah, they announced November. They didn't announce September.
What?
Yeah.
No, wait. Isn't September? No, didn't they announce September? No.
Community, help us.
Tomb Raider Thalamus is coming out next month. So is the Evercade R and the R's.
Let's see.
What? Tomb Raider's coming this month or July?
July, and that's probably the end of July, right?
Oh, Okay, so wait, hold on. Okay, no, yeah, November. See, that's the thing. The cards are coming in November.
Okay. The pre-orders are coming out in September. Okay, that's where I was getting at.
So what's coming in September?
Did they announce it? Yeah,
No.
that's weird. I think
they announced November, but they didn't announce September.
Well, here's the thing. I think those arcade carts they announced, they should have been in the same announcement with the alpha, because they're probably coming out on the same day. But this wouldn't be the first time either that they've announced like carts that being released later in the year without knowing what was being released before it. So it's not impressive.
So because the alpha isn't finished yet, and they announced it, ahead of time. That's what I mean. Like arcade is having.
It's not finished. How do you know it's not finished?
Because otherwise, why would they wait? So that it would be shipping now.
They're waiting for closer to holiday season. That's why.
Doesn't really make sense.
I don't really care, to be honest with you. Yeah, I think for me it's just they spread their stuff out because they want people to have stuff to talk about. Like they want people to do videos like what's coming in the next carts or what's the roadmap and all that. Yeah. So actually, they're evil geniuses.
I mean, they've announced that. I mean, it could be that they've got their prototype or whatever, but they're still manufacturing and they know when they're going to have enough to ship out and stuff. So that doesn't mean they can't announce it.
I think September carts, speculating, which we tend to do sometimes. I think it'll be one computer cart, one console cart. That's what I think September will be. What they are, I don't know.
Okay, so they have given that clue about the 4 remaining carts, 2 of them September and 2 of them December. Their hints were that one is highly requested, one is largely unknown.
Or wild card. Yeah, so I think a computer collection definitely will be the requested one. And I think a console collection that will probably throw us all for a loop. And that's those 2 will be September.
I actually hope that the one that everybody's been requesting is something like Neo Geo stuff.
Yes. Or a part of me hopes, like, hey guys, we have a surprise cart in the Neo Geo collection coming out in August. I don't know, just this year it just seems like they've really made us wait, like with the consistency, and that's what I mean. Like it used to be like within every 2 months. I don't know. It just seems like
guys. You know what's really cool? Really cool.
Ice.
6 months to Christmas.
Yeah. Well, yeah, just about.
I'm counting down.
We're halfway
I wish
there.
they'd have an advent calendar that starts in June.
Why don't you invent it? Why don't you invent one that starts in January?
Damn straight. Oh my God, I'm going on. I'm straight. Everybody knows I love Christmas.
You could just do an app on your computer, digital app coming on your phone. Every day it pops up, like 322 days till Christmas.
Yeah, I don't think we're
sing a different Christmas carol every day.
Like no, because my whole thing is that like I don't unless we're getting them as physical carts, like Namco and Konami Super Pockets would like do.
You know what? Super Pockets will come out in October. Guaranteed.
Super Pockets didn't even be on this at all, apparently.
I know, but I'm just saying for them as a business, I think October is a perfect month for Super Pockets.
You know what? I think Nathan's right. Yeah, there probably will be a Home Computer Heroes 2 coming, and that'll be that because they said there's going to be one more computer collection. I bet we get that in September.
Oh, they could do Home Computer Heroes for like hundreds of volumes.
Yeah, they can do and they're the best computer games because they're modern.
Well, I mean, I didn't think that there were a couple of really good games on the last one, but there were a lot of them I was like, about on the last one. Home Computer Heroes. I put it as. Yeah,
and then December better be something really better blow us because I mean we got Duke Remaster last year, so
yeah, maybe
it's a coincidence. I don't know if we'll get something like that again. The only reason that Duke Remasters exist is because that was already being worked on even before the Evercade was a thing. That was somebody's hobby that they were doing, and Blaze just happened to be able to get the license from Gearbox.
Yeah, Gearbox is folded, right?
I don't know. I'm not aware of that.
Well, they just shut down some stuff. So.
Oh, if they did, if they didn't, I don't know. I don't really look at.
I don't trust anything from the Embracer Group.
Oh my God, that would be if they did a Tetris Super Pocket. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that'll probably be the first cart I just never buy. I played Tetris once on the Game Boy. If you played one Tetris, you played them all.
The whole thing about Tetris and the license of Tetris and how that's been passed around to like almost everybody. It's so
Isn't there a
bizarre.
documentary about Tetris?
Yeah, there is several, but like that's really like because the whole licensing thing back when because Russia being a communist nation and stuff, the whole who owns the licensing for Tetris and for what platform was very confusing.
You know who owns it? Putin.
I don't know anymore. It used to be Electronic Arts for a while, and
yeah.
So who owns it now? I'm guessing the same people. Is it Ubisoft? Ubisoft had it for a while.
No, I probably have to go.
Who put out the Tetris Effect game? That was the most recent one, isn't it?
Yeah. No, but don't forget that the Game Boy Chromatic they're putting out like a new Tetris. Whoever owns a Tetris company, but no, I was gonna say I agree with you. I think the next Giga card it'll be a Tomb Raider 2. Sadly, I think that'll
I don't think so.
Your box is no longer. Those were folks were angry the Dukes weren't on Steam. You know what? And the Dukes may never go to Steam. Atari announced that they were buying Evercade. Oh god. The Tetris company. Yeah, who owns the Tetris?
Yeah, the Tetris company owns it. Okay, so man, that license was passed around so much, and everybody's put out their own different version of it. Like, especially if you look in the '80s, like almost every platform. But Tetris was released by a different company. Sega put out their own arcade version. Atari put out their own arcade version. Atari thought they had the rights to put out an NES version of it. So there's an NES version of it, even though they didn't really have the rights to do it. Nintendo put out their own version of it.
If they could put out a version of
Spectrum Holobyte put it out for computers, like the Commodore 64. That's the version I played.
If they could put out a Super Pocket, let's say if it looked like the shell was the colors of like the DMG Game Boy, and they put that version on it, and then they had like good shaders and colors and everything, and oh my god. So anyone can license. Yeah. So we'll just I don't know, we'll have to see. We'll have to see. I mean, like the Evercade Alpha is already making noise in the arcade community, which is good. But again, the thing that I like about them is it's just something that's like a pick up and play, type of thing. But I'm an arcade guy who loves Tetris, but Tetris will be better played on it. Yeah, no, definitely played on it.
My favorite version of Tetris is the Atari arcade version. I played that one in the arcades.
Yeah, but I mean,
that's the one that has the guy that comes out and dances. I like that.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying that I hope that Blaze. I know they have to get whatever license that they can get. So here's something I'll throw at you guys that I kind of brought up on Card that I wish Blaze would do. Like, let's say if the only way they could get like a Konami or a Taito or some physical, let's say some big publisher. Here's what I think Blaze should do for a strategy. Let's say if like Taito's like, okay, the only reason we're going to give you a physical card if you give us a deal that we can't refuse. And what I mean is do something and say, hey, put out a cart where if they do it initially just at cost, right? Just at cost, but put a stipulation in there. If they sell X amount, like if we sell over 100,000 or over 1 million, then we get a certain amount of money. Because I think if they put something like a Konami collection, it would do well. I don't know. That's just my, and it would be worth it for the advertising itself, and they would still make money in the long term. And then they wouldn't lose anything as they're putting it out at cost, right? It would just be a test for one collection.
I don't know. I'm not getting into all that hypothetical situation type of deal because it might not be as easy as you say.
I don't know. They don't say. Let me put it.
They can't say. I mean, they can't really talk about like literally everything they're doing.
No, but they did tease about Activision that they would have had that license for that Atari collection. So they tell us some things. But then it was like the whole merger and anything else. I don't know. Let me put it this way. I swear to God, I'll put myself out there that if I had the opportunity, let's say, to talk to one of the big wigs or somebody there, I could explain to them, coming from somebody from a profitability standpoint and from a retro game, why they need to do this and how very little effort. I could convince them. I could close that.
You don't even know if they've maybe done what you're talking about. They may have already tried it, may not have worked, and they just can't say that they've tried it and it didn't work.
Maybe, but what I don't know though, and again, I don't know like Blaze Hill financials, but I don't know like what they consider to be a big risk or something else. And I'm just telling them.
The way I look at it, it's not my job. I don't work for them, so I'm not worried about that. All I really care about is what they're actually coming out with.
See, but here's the thing though. Part of the fun of Evercade is the speculation. Like I want to say like 95% of like the community. Every now and then somebody will comment like, "Oh, I don't care about speculation."
No, that may be the case for you, but I'm fine with just waiting and seeing what comes out because I could just make up stuff all day long, and maybe some of it might be come true.
Yeah, but that's like what we have. That's why people tune in. They like to hear our opinions and all and all that type of. Oh God, condiment talk. No. But the other thing too with Tetris, I will say that like right now, like Tetris has been like huge, in the news with and everything and everything else. So that's so. I mean, I don't know if Blaze already has their licenses picked out, but I would like to think somebody is following like the trends of where things are going and what like remasters are coming out and maybe how they like with Sega, right? They're coming out their remaster. Maybe they've already secured those licenses to the existing Sega consoles and we just have to wait. I don't, you know what I mean? Like there's a way by getting the retro licenses promote the games for the companies. That's all I'm saying. And then maybe they couldn't come to it. They couldn't come to a deal. Maybe things are just peanuts for them. I don't know. It's the same reason why Nintendo won't just like sell all their back catalog for $5.
Oh, they're definitely not going to do that because they're putting if they're going to do anything with their back catalog, they're putting it on their own hardware, which is what they're doing now. But they're not going to make it available anywhere else. Definitely.
No. I was saying as an example, like maybe I need to elaborate. Like it's the same reason, like what? Because Nintendo has a huge back. If they put up all the titles that they had licensed to, where you could actually own them on the Switch for $5 a pop, dude, they would make.
But they're not going to do that. Because they're getting people to give them.
That's what Nintendo Online $20.
Yeah, they're getting people to give them $20 a month.
I know.
For infinite time.
They're becoming like
the games. They.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, but they would make no. I'm not saying Nintendo. No, they're never ever Canadians. I'm just saying it's an example where some companies don't see like they would want to, but they're slowly releasing titles. What I'm just saying, if they had like 100 games. Or 20 games even, you could pick from Nintendo Classics on the Switch for $5 a pop. They would make more money on that than they ever would over time because so many people would jump on that and buy them. And then they could release physical collections of those and people would buy them again. I'm just saying it's the same short-sightedness. That's all.
The only way we'll see Nintendo IP on non-Nintendo hardware is if same thing happens to Nintendo that happened to Sega, where they put a whole bunch of failed consoles in a row. And that's the only way they can survive.
Yeah. No, I mean, listen, I get like from Blade, like there's certain licenses they can't get, and they want to go after the things that they already have relationships. I don't know each time they go after a new license if it costs them money, and of course, like a big publisher, someone like even like Taito may not be as excited. They're like, yeah, we really don't need you guys. Know what I mean? So I get that Blaze has looked at being too little, so. Maybe
Nintendo, Nintendo only puts out like one failed console in a row because they put out consoles very successful and then the next one bombs and the next one is successful and then the next one bombs.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not throughout their whole history. I think. Well, to me, like the Nintendo 64 bombed, but apparently that did well enough to where everybody's nostalgia for it now. They grew up with it, but like I guess the GameCube maybe where that started. Because the GameCube wasn't really that successful.
No.
But then the Wii was. And then nobody bought the Wii U. But now the Switch is. So the Switch 2.
Yeah,
it may be because they got this following now to where if they do things right, maybe the Switch 2 will be successful. But the problem, though,
that I feel like with the Nintendo is now they, instead of just like, now they just have to have like a gimmick to do everything to keep them, which I guess... Yeah, but they've hung on to those properties. Like everybody loves Mario, and not everybody, but so they've hung on to all that type of. They hang on to all that. A lot of it's marketing. I mean, Nintendo's like a household brand. It's what people are familiar with. If you bring up, something like, what's this Evercade? What's this Steam Deck? People, look at it.
If somebody told me like if I told somebody who wasn't into gaming at all, it's like, oh, I got a Steam Deck. They're gonna think I'm like dry cleaning my clothes or something.
Yeah, is dry cleaning still a thing?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think
Yes.
you have to
I
take
just buy
clothes to dry clean.
wrinkle-free stuff.
I have a steam cleaner like in the other room right over there. If I need to get wrinkles out of something, or
I don't mind wearing wrinkly clothes. I don't care.
Most of the clothes I wear don't wrinkle, so I'm
like,
you know what I used it for? I used it for getting wrinkles out of a green screen. That's what I used it for.
I'm like Dana White. I give no F's about anybody that's not in my inner circle. I just don't care.
So time of turn. So I don't want. That's what I don't want Blaze to do. I don't want them just to release super pockets of games that we already have. Like that's, I don't know.
I wouldn't mind if they did that, because maybe there's people out there that would don't have the Evercade. That whole market is for people who don't really have the Evercade and trying to get them into the Evercade. You know what I mean? So it's fine if they release previous cartridges just as a Super Pocket form.
So to me, that's like, okay, that's a missed opportunity, and that's being lazy. If you can do both, come out with some, and there's one thing that would do that, and that would be Konami. That dude, release a Konami Super Pocket. Oh my God, Blaze won't have to worry about licensing for the next 5 years. No, and I'm being serious. I'm being 100% serious. I don't think there's anybody who's really an Evercade that would not buy a Konami Super Pocket.
I'd educate. I've just played all those games everywhere else. They're everywhere, literally everywhere.
Yeah.
They're everywhere. I can play Contra on my toaster. They're just everywhere. It would have to be a lot of interesting Konami games that's not Contra.
Well, it's the arcade version of Contra.
It's the nostalgia.
It's Castlevania. I play those everywhere. There's everything.
What if we got Haunted Castle?
Sure. I probably played their Pachinko collection. Because they're into Pachinko, right? In Japan, Konami.
Yeah, I wonder how well a Pachinko collection would do on the Evercade.
I'm joking.
I think it's more about having something officially and themed and licensed. Yes. Well, that's what I always, and that's I always say, yes, we have many different ways to play emulation and other ways, but Evercade is a physical cart. So this isn't a physical cart, but if they made it really appealing, right? You can just you can pick up,
That would be funny. That would be the ultimate troll. So here's your first Konami collection, and it's all Pachinko machines.
Frogger. Contra on a toaster. No, but see, then Dan brings up a great point. I also hate all the digital games being locked to hardware. That is, that's definitely true. I'm not a big fan of that. And that's
whoa! Who did that? Stop it!
Kick the other me out.
I fixed them. I kicked the other Rich from the studio.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
It was Rich.
But
Rich is a doppelganger.
Yes.
Konami or not, like to see Evercade go.
There was two of them.
No, but believe me, Super Pockets. The sad thing is that I have no way to play them on a TV. I have no way to easily stream it and and all that other stuff. So it's you don't have a part.
Okay, here's the thing: is from the Super Pocket, but there are other ways.
Yeah. But but I feel in 2024, right? I don't want to be 1990. 1990s or 2000s, to YouTube. Yeah, they did a Contra Mini, but the difference though is is that having something small you can just pick up, you can play games, versus Steam Deck I could do everything, but there's it's portability. I'm not going to bring that everywhere. So there's I don't know. I think certain things 99% of the people watching this are into retro. Konami is just one of those brands where we had so much nostalgia growing up, right? It's just it's just incredible. So I think there would be a case for that. I think maybe the Capcom one, if they never had those embedded games in the EXP, I probably would have, looking back now, maybe would have had to get that. I don't know. But then you also have you are playing it on a smaller screen, which I've learned to accept that, except for the D-pad. That's my only thing. Which is kind of
a smaller screen, but because it's not widescreen, you're still getting a little bit more real estate because you're not getting as much black bars on those. You're getting, for most games, especially like console games, the whole screen is being filled up. So I don't think the smaller screen of the Evercade is actually making the image much smaller than it already is on the Evercade, like the original or the
screen the screen is a tiny bit smaller. No, with anything else, it's more the D-pad. It's more the D-pad for me that we need a better D-pad like the other ones that we have. What's
okay. Here's the thing: what D-pad from what controller would you prefer to see? Like, what's your favorite D-pad on any controller?
So if we're talking about just the actual like D-pad and nothing else, the VS. I'm
out of like anything out there that exists, you would go with the Evercade.
I haven't touched a Saturn controller in like decades, or like, you know what I mean.
Honestly, I really like this one. I'm surprised at how much I like this one.
Huh.
This is,
and I'll tell you because I'll tell you why.
I like this a lot. I'm surprised that, like, the Xbox D-pads used to be like the worst, and this series, the series one, it really blows me away. Like how good it is.
I don't like PlayStations as much just because of the 4 triangle. Like I like my D-pads to be connected. Steam Deck would be my close second. It's just Steam Deck, like it's a little bit more. It's a tiny bit like it's a great D-pad, but it's a little bit more slippery, and it's a little bit smaller. But I love like the analog sticks and everything. But then again, like the VS buttons sometimes feel like a little bit like too like mushy. Like I noticed like after playing for a while.
I know a lot of people. Oh, the Jaguar D-pad. I can't remember what that exactly felt like. That might. I don't really remember. Yeah. A lot of people do like the Genesis one. I personally never really liked it that much. I don't know why. It just never really. Yeah. I preferred like the NES or Super Nintendo.
Yeah, Super Nintendo was mine too.
To the Genesis one, and you know why? the Nintendo. I don't know if they still have this patent, but they had a certain thing. They had a little nub, plastic nub, on that D-pad that prevented it from feeling mushy at all or pushing in. It always like rocked back and forth over this little ball. And I think they had a patent on it, which is why nobody could do it for the longest time.
For me though, the Genesis 6-button controller back like that, I'd have to play that again compared to Super Nintendo, but that like the D-pad felt great. It felt so comfortable. Like I
was never really a big fan of that Genesis / Mega Drive controller. A lot of people love it. Like they'll say, like, "Oh, I'll put like my Genesis controller and play Atari games," like which you could do, but I prefer to use the Atari joystick over it. I actually modded an NES controller to work with the Atari 2600 as well, and 7800. So I prefer that.
That's like a great like all around like average. I mean, God.
And I'm the crazy one that, as far as Atari goes, just I want the 7800 classic controller.
Which one's the classic? Is that
the
Pro Line?
The Pro Line
long
one.
How do you like buttons. That? I purposely ripped one apart so I could mod an NES controller to work with the 7800. I hated that controller so much.
Oh, I know. I love it.
And did you know? Are you getting the European version? Because Atari,
they're putting out the NES.
I wanted one of those for a long time, and I searched on eBay for the longest time to get one of those.
I'm probably going to buy one because I never used Atari with that kind of control set before.
Yeah,
and so I was like, all right, well maybe I'll give it a whirl, but I don't know.
I had to get it because I was looking for one for the longest time. I gave up my search, and that's why I modded the NES one.
Yeah,
so I'd be able to. But
it's something about the 7800s, like the fact that you're holding the controller right up front and almost ignoring the long part of the controller, and then having your other hand like right on top. You know, like really close knit. Like I was able to do all sorts of crazy things. I can't do it with another controller. Just that one.
People called that the pain line controller because it caused so much pain.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I guess maybe it's just the way that my hands worked. It just fits. I don't know. I love it.
Maybe somebody like you worked at Atari when they made that controller. Like, oh yeah, this is great.
They made it just for me.
Yeah, they made that controller just for you.
Just for you.
I mean, I swear though, if Atari ever re-releases that controller, I'm buying 3. Because that's the other thing though, is like they're like the 5200 controller. They break. Yeah, Rich likes the pain. Nice. I don't know. It's just something about it. Like, and the two I have, they're broken, and it's sad because I can't use them.
Really?
Like,
What broke on them?
It's so on the controller, one side or the other, the buttons they don't work anymore. And then on another controller, my up and down doesn't work, but left and right.
Have you tried taking them apart and fixing them, and you just
not
can't?
yet? Oh, that's good. You should do that.
It shouldn't be that difficult to fix because I was able to repair 5200.
You just have to clean them out or something, or
no? You could buy replacement parts.
I
used to be able to buy replacement. I don't know if you still can, but I was able to replace the parts.
So you can fix them.
Nice.
You can fix them.
Yeah, I mean, I'll have to look for some resources because I'd love to fix a controller or two. That'd be kind of fun. I don't know.
I don't think they're as complicated as the 5200 controller either because they're not analog. They're just
no, they're just
controller.
Yeah. I don't know.
And any broken parts, you might be able to. If there's any broken parts in there, you might be able to just 3D print those parts too because you've got the 3D printer.
So okay, so while we're talking of controllers, and you guys can tell me this way as a kid, and I know what I might say might be a very unpopular opinion, but like when I playing the Atari and all, like I always kind of felt like, for me especially, like I always had like a tough time. Like I enjoyed using the controllers, but then I felt like once I used the Nintendo D-pad, that like I never went back. I always felt like I had such precise control and everything, and I loved that. Even over arcade tricks. Like
I will kind of agree because I did. That's why I modded a Nintendo controller to work with the Atari 7800. It also worked with the Atari 2600, and I'd rather use that than for a while. But I think now I'm going back to wanting to play with a joystick. I had what was called the Slick Stick from Suncom, and I really liked that because the travel on the joystick was really short. So that, and also, like I did make this.
But it could be like
I did make my own Atari controller with arcade notes. Yeah. So,
but here's the thing with modern technology, like I've wondered, like, would it be like that much more fun to play Food Fight with the controller to get that arcade feel for nostalgia, or it could just be my lack of experience because I haven't.
You know what? Ultimately, it doesn't matter. If there's a controller that works that you like, use that controller. You don't have to play it.
There's no wrong way to play it.
Yeah, there's no wrong way. But to be honest, I think a joystick might be better with Food Fight because you do have to do diagonals a lot in that game to run around. The original arcade game used a special controller where you could move in like 36 different directions or something.
Yeah.
So an analog stick would probably be the best if you were going to play the official arcade game. But
funny that you mentioned that, Kuro, because on the Atari 50 collection, you can only use the analog stick. Actually, they had to fix that, but it's different though because you how do I explain? Like you have to position your character to face the right way with the arcade version. The 7800 version, you don't. Like those controls are so tight, and that's why like a game like that is difficult to play on the Super Pocket because you have to like press your like thumb on the outside of the buttons instead of just on the inside. At least for me, because
that's the 7800 version, which didn't. Yeah. That was made with only the 8-way direction in mind. They converted it, so you're not going to get that kind of precision, even if you have an analog stick.
I think I like that version better than the arcade, just because you have like such control.
Yeah, and I really like that version too. It's one of my favorite games on 7800. And when I sold off all my 7800 stuff at one point, but then when the Atari 2600 Plus came out, I rebought Food Fight.
Nice. Yeah, see, that would be great, and it's a different experience. Oh, Immortal, thank you. I will have to. Okay, I'll have to switch to this. But yeah, whenever.
Nice.
Thank you so much for that, sir. If I can get my buttons and things right, let me. Oh, I know who I'm gonna give you for that.
Why?
I'll give you Roddy Piper for that. Thank you so much.
Nice.
Chuckle. Yeah. Nobody's. Oh man! Oh my God! Rasta. Roddy Piper. Good, you all like it. Sorry, no, I thought I read something different. Anyways, Hot Rod. But yeah, no, and that was requested by people to use for buffers to have like wrestler themes. I tried to find and put together some stuff that I thought would be interesting. And then we have another one.
That's awesome.
We have
Thanks, Dan.
very, very cool. Thank you. I tell you what, Dan, because I haven't seen you in a while, and you've been a long-time member, and you're awesome. I will play you one from the 5 membership level since people just gave 2 back to back. And okay, I think you all will like this one.
Hello. We're on the air here.
Someone's been messing with my phone here now.
Unbelievable.
This is the cheapest phone I've ever seen in my life. Oh, hello. Will somebody give me a decent phone? That's all I ask.
Oh my god, I remember actually seeing that like back in the day, and that was like cut down from like a couple minutes. But yeah, that's that's awesome. Oh, the Crypt Coffee, you got it.
Nice.
Sweet. Yeah, no, I appreciate everyone doing that, making the channel grow and all that stuff. Best duo in wrestling. Oh my goodness. Yeah, now I totally lost my train of thought, but no, I guess like because it's funny like when there's different ways we have to play different stuff. For me, like when it comes to things like Super Pockets, and it's all about nostalgia and having something licensed or not. So it's and different people want different things for different reasons. But yeah, it's kind of I kind of what we were talking about Atari kind of goes back to like. Do you need the 2600 plus, and do you need the controller to play it in that way to have nostalgia? Is it more nostalgia? I mean, it's kind of different for everybody, but yeah, I agree with what you said, Crow. Like, find a controller that works for you, and
yeah, I mean, you can almost get any kind of controller and make it work with anything these days with the right kind of adapter.
Yeah, true. It just kind of depends there.
Popping off with these gift memberships.
Yep.
I know, right? And believe me, I appreciate I appreciate it. But so that's kind of so here's the other thing, and I mean this in all seriousness. If let's say if I mean this like if I didn't, and I've said this, if I didn't have like to me Evercade, it's about the community and sharing everything. More about like the actual like the games and stuff itself. It's about the community and the way to be collectible and for being collectible, right? Like it's kind of the whole thing. So that's why I would welcome something like a Castlevania collection. Because for me, like even though you can buy games and get stuff off of Steam, to me the best thing is when I know those carts are in their way and opening them up and having those physical. It's like Christmas, and I understand like the addiction of
it's not like Christmas because I mean in Christmas when you're opening a present you don't know what's inside. When you order something and you get it in the mail, you already know what you're getting.
Well, sometimes, you know what I mean? It's that you do, but it's still though. That's what kind of takes me back to being a kid, like opening it up, having that physical thing, looking at it, like that's like so, and then being able to share it with everybody. So for me, that's that's kind of the most important. And then it generates everybody's discussions and talking about retro games and what we're doing now. Like that's the whole bigger picture. And that's why for me, like if I just wanted to play retro games and not share that experience with everybody. I don't think I would be into Evercade as much. I'm not going to lie because this is like formed like an awesome like niche community and all that. And and it's a lot of fun talking about it. I mean, hell, that's why we have the show every week. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Whoa! Australian Christmas presents under hot weather. It's like Australian Christmas presents.
Immortal. Popping off with another one.
Oh my god! Did you just gift another? Did you just gift another one? Yes, you did. Holy crap! What do I have?
Awesome,
what do I have here? What do I have here? Oh, this is a classic. Ric Flair.
That was a good woo.
For you, buddy. Woo, 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 woo. Yeah. So. But no, in all seriousness, I think that all of us have found each other and we've brought together. I mean, yes, playing on Steam and PC gaming is for for everything else it isn't on Evercade. I feel like that's more to satisfy being able to play, how do I articulate this? having other consoles and as being able to kind of satisfy that gamer itch. Oh my god, dude, another one! Holy crap! Okay, I gotta pick another one from the.
It's just raining memberships.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. We haven't played this. Okay, I think you'll like this one.
Do you want to cancel that?
At our expense. Hell, it's only money, as Rockefeller said.
You are unique.
Yes, and those were really my grandparents from their 50th anniversary, like deep cuts. So
it's pretty good. That's good times.
You've unlocked that. I think people have unlocked all of them. I'm gonna have to make more clips soon. But no, I really appreciate that. You know, I should be shooting off those things in the Pringle can, but probably it's better that I don't because I don't want to get like toxic coffee. That was you're not supposed to like drink the dye that like, you know.
No, yes, not good for you.
No.
Well, to me, all coffee's toxic. So
I was like the things that I do. Yeah, but that was during like the Father's Day like drinking stream. Oh, pop. Should I? Here's what I'm talking about. Here, hold on. Should I do? Fine. I'm talking about like the Pringle can full of these things. Fine. Since you asked. Here we go. Woo! And it didn't land in the coffee, thank God. It landed right over here.
Oh,
It's like some premature popping there.
Gene.
It's all good.
Shut.
Oh my God.
Oh no.
Oh, it shoots his load.
For those of you who don't know, Immortal and Gene are like the official and unofficial like channel comedians. Like their sense of humor always cracks me up. Oh my God, Dan!
What is happening?
I was like, guys, this is only supposed to happen.
This
like
part of the show where the chat is now taken over, and they just want.
Oh my God, dude! He just keeps okay.
You just want to please hit more buttons. That's what
okay.
That means.
Oh, this is my favorite one.
But the cream will rise to the top. Oh yeah, I am the cream. Nobody does it better.
I love that. I love that a Macho Man. Oh my God. I'm running out of these. I'm gonna have to get more of them. Fine, I'll do. I better not land on my coffee. Oh Jesus!
This is absolutely fascinating.
Oh my God! I think okay. I can't even keep up. I think.
Are we done yet?
No.
What did I do?
Are you turning membership back on my channel?
Goodness gracious. There's not going to be a single person left in the chat that isn't.
All chat is all members.
They're gonna get double memberships.
Oh
hey, make this monkey dance.
Please tell me out of all of those, Gene got one.
Hey, members, make the monkey dance.
Doesn't it just automatically spill over into people that are subscribed but are not watching at some point?
Maybe. Okay, another.
The rocket is going to be taken off.
Canada's two greatest wrestlers ever, the Hart brothers.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay,
Owen's dead, but are you guys watching the documentary "Who Killed the WCW"?
No, is there a documentary about
it? Yeah, documentary's great. It's on whatever channels, but it's only 2 episodes
whatever channel.
It's 2 episodes in so far, and Bret Hart's there, man. He just lays the lumber down on everybody.
Oh, that's wild.
I'm not into wrestling, but I might watch that. That's
yeah. Who Killed the WCW? The Rock is in it. All big wrestlers, like back from that era where WCW was the #1 versus WWE, and now they imploded. And
you want to know?
It's pretty good.
You want to know what my wife's favorite wrestler is? And I didn't notice it until like a year or so ago.
Coco.
Her favorite wrestler is Papa Shango.
Oh my good Lord.
She found she found a figure of him, and she's like, "Oh, my favorite wrestler is." I didn't even know you.
The greatest wrestling match of all time is Macho Man Randy Savage versus Ricky Steamboat, and I have the actual trading card that has a still from the film of that match. Ooh. And I remember watching that in WrestleMania. It's the greatest. If you have never watched that fight, it's worth going to YouTube and watching that wrestling match. But Ricky Steamboat and Macho Man.
So when did this become the WrestleCast?
Oh,
Yeah, right.
because it did. Just like you all remember this.
Well, it started when Macho Man started showing up.
Well, we'll get to that in a second.
If you want entertainment, if you want nothing but the best, baby, you got it. That's right. Take it from me, the mouth of the sound, Jimmy Hart.
Yeah, Jimmy Hart. No,
Nice.
because the whole thing started because I do like say, "Oh yeah," like a lot. Like, I didn't even realize.
Oh
it.
yeah.
Picked up on it like Macho Man, and I did have that clip. And then how I kind of got more towards wrestling because I said, "Hey, when people give memberships, I want to." I got I kind of felt bad that I was only just kicking off. That I needed something more exciting. And that's when, at the time, the chat came up with, "Hey, can you go out and do wrestlers?" And so he said me that wrestling is nostalgic for all of us, and so that's where we are today. And then for these poppers, my wife just said, "Hey, every time somebody gives you something, you should shoot one of those off. It'd be fun." So that's how that was her idea. Oh my god, that's what Ed.
Well, no, actually, no, he'd done it before because he streams. I don't know when you started it, but but the last live stream you did that I caught, you were popping them off, and that was a couple days ago.
Yeah, like
You doing it on the Father's Day stream.
Yes, that's when it started. Yeah, and I had them left over. Like, dude, this Pringle can was filled up. There's only two. There's only two left. I'm gonna have to get more of these. It's a lot of fun, but just so they don't like coffee. What's all you pop?
I feel Ed is more like Kool-Aid Man. Yeah.
Yeah, Kool-Aid Man. I feel like Ed is. Yeah, but that was kind of the origin. And then I leaned into it when I did like the slap into the Slim Jim Retro Kill-9 thing.
Yeah.
I could definitely talk about 80s wrestling. I love 80s wrestling.
It's a good time.
Thank you, Immortal. Yes.
Early 90s wasn't bad too. The NWO versus the Attitude Era. That was fun times.
Yeah, DX.
Yeah, Generation X, they're scumbags though. Shawn Michaels is the biggest scumbag human being that ever crossed the world.
Really?
Like, yeah. He's a scumbag.
That's disappointing to hear.
Yeah, the Generation X, man, they're idiot. I read of the Attitude Era with Austin and Yeah, the Generation X were just like softcore porn for wrestling. They were just morons.
I just like the day when they showed up at the WCW headquarters at a tank.
Yeah,
that was pretty good. That was a good moment.
I like the NWO was going bad though when everybody in WCW joined the NWO. It's like, that was their big thing. Who's joining this week? It's Mr. Fourth on the card wrestler. Nobody knows.
Yes.
Girl, what are you coloring?
What is coloring pixels?
Oh yeah. Yeah, what is coloring pixels? It's this, actually. It's
okay.
That's pretty cool.
Very cool.
Crow is a strange man.
That's why we love him. Oh, we do need a wrestling game. Oh my god.
Yeah.
We do.
Well, there's that indie wrestling game, right? Who does that?
Yeah, with all the YouTubers in?
Yeah.
Who would run out of breath just putting the cartridge in, let alone being in a wrestling game.
I mean, I heard it was pretty cool, though. Isn't that a Mega Cat game?
What is?
The wrestling game. Isn't it a Mega Cat? Or no?
Which wrestling game?
Retromania Wrestling.
Retromania, yeah.
Oh.
It's not that good of a game, actually.
I don't know.
It's not that good?
Have that.
I have it. It's not that good of a game.
But it's Mega Cat, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Retromania. I had it in my wish list for a while.
Mega
I don't even know if I bought it or not.
Yeah, Gene knows.
No, it's still in my wish list.
What a picture of Pete. I must have. And the chat's going blowing up and going so
What?
bad.
He's doing the pixel.
Retrosoft Studios.
Retrosoft, okay. But Mega Cat wasn't involved? I thought they were involved.
They don't.
You got Beast Wrestler. What more do you want?
Yeah, Beast Wrestler.
Yeah, that's a great game.
Honestly,
amazing game. You should lose your retro card for saying that.
Beast Wrestler meme.
Yeah, only Rich likes that game.
It wasn't bad.
Oh, it is.
You know why I like that game? Because there's so many typos in that game. It's hilarious.
Oh, for love of God. You guys just need to check it.
They misspelled the word "two."
They did.
Oh my god! But pro wrestling.
Here we go. If we're gonna get a wrestling game, this one. This is my
championship
thing.
wrestling.
It's not. It's probably not a good one, but it is a C64 Epics game. So I'm kind of surprised that we haven't even gotten this one already.
See?
No, but Capcom
C64 18,000. and then we can
Dude,
get
that would be cool. But Capcom has a wrestling game that for some that.
Everybody has a wrestling game that's been around for a while.
Yeah, WrestleMania on the Super Nintendo.
You
Awesome.
two can spell the words.
I love though back in the day when the WrestleMania games coming out on Super Nintendo, they only had like 6 wrestlers. They couldn't fit all the wrestlers on the card.
You know what though? I'd even be happy with pro wrestling. I don't know who owns the license to that, but it had like Starman. It had like like
that's
that was a
Nintendo.
Japanese game.
Yeah.
Pro wrestling's Japanese.
Nintendo
Pro
owns
wrestling
that?
was Nintendo, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
It's a
know. It was a
Nintendo
Japanese game though.
It's one of the original Nintendo
Black Box. It's one of the original Black Boxes based on Japanese wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's where it came out of a Japanese game. It's a Japanese studio.
What about Fire Pro? Can we get that?
That's another Japanese game.
That's human. So I don't see why not.
Yeah, why not? Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be kind of cool.
Man, those original
people like Fire Pro Wrestling. I've never played it, but I heard about how much
people are all about Fire Pro.
Yeah.
Fire Pro Wrestling.
I'll play that.
No, Super WrestleMania, one of the better games. Got to play that. Super Nintendo.
Oh, okay. I've got 2 or 3 of the Nut Genesis. That
I got a sun faded Super WrestleMania in my SNES collection. It's so sun faded, it's gross.
Would they be able to get the licensing to do those games though? Because I'm thinking of like the one I played that I enjoyed was like the arcade one, the WWF WrestleMania arcade game.
Yeah.
Not the one for the more recent one that played.
WrestleFest, you probably like.
What about like Saturday Night Slam Masters?
Thank you. That's the
Capcom one. That's the Capcom one.
That's okay.
Yes, I had to Google that. Yes, that's what it was.
Yeah,
yes,
that was pretty good.
That's okay.
Yeah, I think we get. Yeah.
Or the sequel, The Ring of Destruction.
Yep.
Yeah, we do need a wrestling game, like so bad.
So there you go.
All right.
That one's got Doink the Clown.
Oh man, what a useless person! We use that generation's version of Honky Tonk Man.
Galactic Wrestling.
How many times I think Honky Tonk Man got hit by his own guitar more than he hit anybody else with it?
That's true.
He was a damn fine, good wrestler though. He was a good wrestler.
Yeah, no, yeah, but that bit was the good.
It's like not like that that cement block Goldberg was worst wrestler in the history of wrestling. Holy jeez, he was useless. He was dumb as a post. He still is dumb as a post.
I mean, I thought that was part of his shoot, though.
No, he couldn't wrestle.
If you watch the
WCW documentary on it, every wrestler talks about how he couldn't wrestle because he would hurt people, and he's the reason. He's the one that ended Bret Hart's career.
Oh no!
By not pulling his kick and hitting him square. And other wrestlers, most wrestlers hate Bob Goldberg or whatever his name is. They just think he can't because he doesn't know how to wrestle. Right? He's a football player, so he's used to hurting people. He's not used to like actually acting and pulling his punches and stuff.
Mm.
Yeah, Goldberg he's an awful wrestler. Watch him wrestle in his early and even like his earlier days. Every other wrestler he's wrestling with talks to him during the match, telling him, "Dude, stop doing that," all that kind of stuff. Just watch the matches. Like they're openly telling them, "Hey, you're doing this wrong," and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, we'll just start storylines, and then eventually we'll wind up at a convention somewhere. It'll be 2-on-2.
0 Point Spirituality says, "What about a wrestling empire in Evercade?"
What's Wrestling Empire?
I don't know. I never heard of that. Wrestling Empire.
Yeah, that would be an interesting wrestling match between the 4 of us.
Yeah, right.
I did put my money on me just because I play Contact Hockey for
Android, Switch, iOS.
I don't think
Windows.
I don't
know
think
about
the Evercade can handle this game.
Yeah, I don't know if it would run it.
What one?
Wrestling Empire.
Yeah, Evercade can't run that. You crazy?
No, we'll get a Gremlin Gigacart.
Let's see, when did it come out?
We'll get a
2020. Overwhelmingly positive. All reviews.
I would it's
got a 10 out of 10 on Steam.
I would have seen with another Gremlin play. Really
Crypto, good. But if my career got ended by it, you don't get over that, dude.
That's why
Bill has apologized, so I do agree. He's done everything right, but he doesn't. You can't expect Bret Hart to apologize, like be over it. The dude lost his career, his marriage is like, the dude is barely competent anymore. He can't speak because of the concussion.
This it doesn't. The graphics don't look great, but I think the reason people like this is because you could create your own wrestler, and it might be like a ton of options to do that.
Is that Fire Pro Wrestling? Is that what Colin's talking about? It's amazing.
No, Wrestling Empire.
Oh,
it came out in 2021.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I haven't played that.
The Gigabatch.
The Gigabatch.
That's great. No, I only want them to make another Gremlin collection. I would have so much fun. I think like I would do a whole I would do like a whole satire thing. I swear to God. I think I can do that.
Where did I rank? Yeah, Gremlin 1 is absolutely my least favorite Evercade card.
Yeah.
It is on the bottom of the F tier on my list, my tier list.
I'll make a video and I'll call it the best Evercade collection that ever exists. And I'll be total satire.
But Crypto, I don't think he forgave Vince and Sean. He just did what was necessary so he could go in the Hall of Fame. I think that's all. That's all acting, I think. He genuinely don't like Bill Goldberg. Like, yeah. But I don't know. I honestly think he probably should get over it too, but I'm not.
Once we beefed up VS in 2025, we'll be able to play Power Stone.
I should start a wrestling podcast, man. I could talk wrestling all day long.
That would be good.
That'd be awesome.
And that was the thing. It was like, what isn't somebody talking about analog controls coming out this year too?
Yeah, they are.
I don't think that's happening. I really don't think that's happening. No matter what anybody says, I don't think there'll be an analog controller unless there's an Evercade 2.
Yeah.
No, they're going to add support for it. Because what I want to be able to do is I want to see if I can map that and play like Xenocrisis as a twin stick.
We already have analog control.
You can't. You won't be able to do that with. You can't do that with Xenocrisis because I think that's the Genesis version.
We have analog, the 8-bit DOE.
The 8-bit DOE?
8-bit DOE controllers analog.
Yeah, but the Evercade doesn't support it. Even if you use the analog stick, you're not getting analog controls.
Yeah.
Mine works on my 8-bit DOE.
Like you could map it. Yeah, analog.
Yeah, but like you're not getting like if you're what game are you using to get analog?
All of them. It just works. I get what you're saying. It's not true analog. Okay,
what game on the Evercade uses an analog stick?
None.
Oh, I know.
Why are you asking me the question?
40 Winks. Are you getting analog controls with your analog stick?
I haven't played that game
for 40 Winks.
No, I'm not. I don't play that game. That game's awful.
Yeah. Not only time extension, but they said it like in this FAQ, the FAQ that it's coming later this year.
Okay.
Why haven't they announced that? It was an FAQ. It's not an actual announcement.
Well, because they're going to roll it out as part of a feature update, and then they don't announce the feature updates until something else coincides.
They announced the dip switch is coming with the arcade.
But if they give analog controls, it makes sense to give an analog controller.
I think that's more that like I think the dip switch thing was more that like they're just reconfirming because they've been talking about that for a year plus now. Yeah, like we're kind of working on it. Just give us some time, that kind of thing, and then
like why be so concerned about analog control for like at least one game when we've got computer collections and no keyboard or mouse support?
Oh, that needs to happen. That's ridiculous. We don't have.
I think we're just going down a rabbit hole again here, but
and
I've got to go. So bye.
You want to plug anything before you go?
Do you want to plug anything? There may or may not be videos on my channel.
Nice. That's good.
I don't know. I keep saying I'm going to do the Pico collection for. I just need to find time to do it. That's all. And so there's videos on the channel. Check them out or not. Awesome. There'll be more Evercade coming soon. I promise. Bye.
See ya.
No, I would like them to make an official wireless controller for one reason, for one reason, and that you could just like plug it in and everything works, and if they did a firmware update to where you could I don't know if they where you could actually turn
they
on.
can't.
If they could, like, you could like use it to turn on your VS, and then you could like shut it down in the menu, dude. I would have that would be so much easier.
No. That's hardware based.
Yeah,
that's why the original Steam Deck doesn't have that ability, but the Steam Deck OLED does because it's built into the hardware. And no matter, and with the wireless controller, you're gonna have to have a dongle no matter what, because there's no Bluetooth.
Yeah.
But you can already get a Bluetooth dongle and play wirelessly if you want.
You can. Oh, we're getting analog support. But no, the reason that I would want it then is it would be cool to have that D-pad something officially Evercade branded. So like people.
I know why is that important that it's Evercade branded?
Because when I stream, people see that it's. And I'm not like emulating it up with something. I don't know. And like again, for me, I have these specific like ed use cases. So I would want it for that.
But you know what? All they're gonna do is they're gonna have somebody else make the controller, and then they're gonna put a sticker on it that says Evercade. So just get an Evercade sticker and stick it on whatever controller, and you're good.
I want it for the VSD pad. That's all. That's because versus I could plug in and and use something else. But it would be like to lessen the mess for the cords. That would kind of really be the only reason. And then I would think too, because it's Evercade and it's designed for it, that there would be like almost like no latency. There'd be just like a milliframe. You know what I mean?
If you want no latency, you have to use a cord. Because that's the only way you're gonna get no latency.
Yes, or noticeable, or like there's not any noticeable latency. Like it's like if something was like within like 3 milliseconds or something, you're not gonna notice. But maybe that's why they haven't done that.
Yeah, and it's possible too with the speculation about analog support coming when the next Gigacart drops and it's and it's Tomb Raider Collection 2 or whatever. I think that it might be because we jumped the card announcement was for November, right? We don't know what's coming in September, and we won't until next month when the new cards come out, because that's usually the cadence. I think the reason why we found out about the November cards was because there were leaks associated with the alpha, and that's why we wound up getting the announcements out of order with the cards that are coming alongside alpha. But it's very possible that one of those two collections that is coming in September might be something that's kind of cool and a little unexpected, and then opens the door to, oh yeah, we programmed it with both ways to play. You can like flip a switch and use the regular control set with the digital controllers, or flip this other switch and be able to do analog with the following supported controllers, 8-bit to et cetera, et cetera.
Well, that switch would just be on the controller.
Yeah.
So they wouldn't have to do anything with that.
No.
It's got an analog stick. Make it work with the analog stick.
Mm-hmm.
So here's another question, and I want to ask you this, Rich, because me and Crow talked about this a little bit before the show. Do you think, because it seems like too much of a coincidence that like the cart leaks are like totally ridiculous? Do you think that like as part of like Blaze's like master genius strategy that it gets like leaked and then they haven't ever touched?
It's not a master genius strategy.
I don't know. Or do you think
it's truly a mistake every single time?
It happens. It happens a lot, and I may or may not have had conversations with folks over there about those, and overwhelmingly, each time, I get confirmation that it's not necessarily what they've intended to do. So,
but here's the thing.
So like, now whether or not there's someone else at that organization that's doing it anyway, or if I'm getting wink, wink, nudge, nudged, I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question. All I know is I have asked that question in the past, and the answer I got was, yeah, that's not really what we wanted to do.
But here's the thing: is like they're doing, it's got to be on purpose. They got to be posting this stuff, waiting for people to find it, and because they just happen to have the video ready to go like the next day.
Right. Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, this one seemed a little more suspect than others, because it wasn't like the leak happened and then there's days that go by, because that does happen. Like someone gets a hold of something, they put out a video, the speculation starts. We sometimes have Evercast in between the actual release of the real information and the leak, and then the release happens. Yeah, this was hours.
I don't think they're really paying attention. they might not really be paying attention. They're like, oh, wait, it looks like somebody figured this out a couple of days ago. Well, we weren't looking. You know,
Right.
might as well put the video out.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, either way, this is, in my opinion, it's a all news is good news scenario, because whether or not you have somebody, you know, going and doing the leak stuff or not, people talk about your product, you know, and it's usually in a hype mode. You know, like, oh, hey, I got this awesome information. Here it is. Here's whatever. We don't know all of it, but we'll fill in the gaps later, blah, blah, blah. And then, of course, the official comes out. And then usually us, you know, our group will then, you know, we'll have our reactions. We'll, of course, talk about it in the Evercast or whatever. I mean, it's all part of a marketing strategy for sure. So I know they're aware of what we do, and I know they're aware of what other people do. So.
I mean, all these leaks are coming from all these leaks are coming from Fun Stock, and they own Fun Stock.
Well, that's the other thing. It's like, come on, you know, like it's not. They're right in the same offices, so it's not.
So it's like,
you can literally just be like, stop
make this page and hide it, and we'll wait and see how long it takes for them to find it.
Right.
I'll tell you, there's a simpler reason, because whenever they announce carts or anything new, you can't buy it. You can't even pre-order it usually until like a month or so. So it wouldn't make sense for them to give the assets before then. So that's
right.
No more, bro.
Toxic gives good points for that. That was good.
Yeah. So that's all. I think that there is. I think initially, like maybe the first couple might have been done by accident, but they're like, oh, because you know, like all of us usually will talk about it. To your point, Rich, make videos on it and everything else.
And like I said, it's usually overwhelmingly positive. Like there isn't. I don't think there's ever been a leak scenario where the person that is distributing the leaked information is saying anything dispositive about Blaze or Evercade or the product. It's always like, hey, there's cool information, blah 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 blah. You know, and that's of course you're gonna, you know, you just build the fire. And then the news drops and you're good to go. So it takes a person to, you're absolutely right, Ian. I mean,
exactly.
there's no point that there's no way that someone didn't hit the button. It always happens. Somebody hits it.
Yeah.
But it's like, you know, we'll never know. That's the magic, right? That's the secret that the magician never tells. You know, like, you know, whether or not they're actually being instructed to do that, or, you know, they keep putting something in the back end. You know, and maybe it's like an approval process where the page is live. They're doing it silent live. And it just so happens that the person that is looking for information checks every single day for that kind of thing. You know, it could be one of those scenarios, because there are people out there that do that for everything. You know, like that's how every once in a while leaks for things like, you know, big games on Xbox or PlayStation or whatever happen too.
Yes, it does.
You know, we'll never know when more points doesn't really. Yeah, I mean. It doesn't matter for me. It doesn't matter, you know, because the only thing that is a bummer is that sometimes, you know, because we're in the mix with the news stories and all that kind of stuff, and it's all over my feeds and stuff like that too, on social media and YouTube and all that. It's a little bit bitter when the leak happens right before the announcement, you know, like, and you know the announcement's coming, and then the leak happens, and it's like, all right, well now you're spoiling it, because it's like I don't want to know. Like, if you already know an announcement's coming, like for a showcase, for example, there was a leak that happened right before the showcase, and I was like, guys, you couldn't wait till like 8 hours? Come on, man! Like, seriously, you know, like, you know, that's the only thing that for me, it's like, it's a little bit of that's a little bit of a minus, getting the information early, but you know, like a Fun Stock or, you know, another business partner, they accidentally list something, or an Amazon, because that's happened before too. I mean, come on, it was somebody. It happens. That happens. Yeah. So.
Well, that is true. That no, they did ask. They purposely did ask people not to spoil it, like in Discord. So
yeah. Well, that's the thing. You know, like if it's something major, you know, like I wouldn't want that for them to happen again. You know, on something huge. Like if one of these guys, you know, like one of these carts that's coming out, either 2 September carts or the 2 December carts, if one of them is absolutely ginormous, this is the one time where I'm like, no, I don't want anything to happen. I want the exact announcement to happen the day it needs to happen, for them to have their, like, just let them for once unveil the thing the way they want to, and then
I think what's happening is the way they want it to happen, though.
Yeah,
because it's getting people to be interested in it by these people that are leaking, so to speak, leaking, and then that way there's some time for people to make videos on it before the announcement happens, and then the announcement happens, and then there's another video on it. So double exposure for one announcement.
I suppose you're right with that, but at the same time, it's like on something that's really, really big. I don't know.
It doesn't matter to me because the first time you hear about it, regardless of being from Evercade or for somebody else, you're gonna kind of have the same reaction either way.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter if I know about it earlier or later. I'm eventually gonna know about it.
Yeah,
true. But I think that's why the Blaze is like distances themselves from us because it's kind of a thing, right? Where like they don't want to influence our opinions. They want us to be able to speak freely, kind of for everything, like you said. Like it is free advertising, creating a mystery behind it, and that's why we don't know about these things until because I think because with our channels we give more of like an honest reaction, maybe as opposed to like one of the bigger YouTubers that knows about it for a long time and they have a video good to go. Not that that's not honest, but you know what I mean. Like they're kind of like doing that on I can't even talk today. Porky Pig syndrome. They're doing that on purpose.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's kind of a fun. It's happening like ridiculous. Like you could almost expect now, like a leak, before that official announcement. Well, so that's what I'm wondering. Like, does he have privy?
Well,
to
I
the
think
leaks?
he's the leaker. I don't know. He works for fun. He works for them. It's got to be.
Could be.
Yeah, so that's and that's the fun time speculation, I guess.
Yes.
Is they got the inside man, right? It's possible.
Yeah. The inside man, yeah. Leaks are part of your 5-day. Leaks are the side effects of getting old. Oh god. See, that's why that's what I tell you all. Like,
loving it.
Like Tune and Immortal are hilarious.
That's good times.
All right. But I do have a lot of fun talking about this and a lot of speculation. It's I don't know. For me, like I'm always fascinated in just like figuring out in general, like why people do things, what makes people tick, what makes companies tick, why do they do things the way they do. Like I love all this type of stuff. But it's and heck, we're that's why we have a podcast. We're talking about it now, man, and analyzing it.
Yeah,
and everything. Oh my goodness, that's just. So what do we think? Do we think that maybe within the next week or so we will get the November or September card, whatever?
No, they'll happen the week that they ship. The week they ship the July cards is when we're gonna find.
You gotta think. They gotta remain inconsistent. So we got some announcements earlier, so now we gotta get some later.
That's right. No. And it's also like it will coincide with the not an announcement, but the EXPR and VSR are about to launch. So they'll want something alongside of that is also new, and that's when we're gonna the week that they put them in boxes and start shipping them. That Friday, I would guarantee virtual money bet. That's when we're gonna hear about it, unless it leaks.
You guarantee virtual money,
unless that leaks. And we'll hear about it earlier.
I love that. I've never heard anyone say guarantee virtual
money bets. Yeah.
No, I'd say
me and Danae virtual money bet all the time because it's just for fun.
I would say, Rich, what you said has a probability of 99.9% of being right. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's just, it makes sense.
Arcade 1-Up is, it's interesting, and I'm kind of glad you brought that up, Mike, because, depending on what they have the lock-on for licenses or they don't have, affects what other IPs can get. Could Marvel versus Capcom?
I don't think so. I really don't think so, because it's not like Arcade 1-Up has an IP. That's not like nobody else can go get that IP.
They did, though. For Marvel, they had a lock on Marvel versus Capcom 2 for a while. They were
okay for a while. But, that must not have
Not
lasted
anymore.
very long.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, of course, because now it's coming to everything but Xbox.
And how do you even know if it was an exclusivity that nobody else could do that?
Yes. All right, Game Freak, I'm with you.
It's fun.
I have a near 90% record of being wrong. Anytime I make a prediction.
Yeah.
So,
Evan, if you look,
but I love the speculation game, just throwing stuff out there.
Yes.
Because sometimes the speculation, it's not like people at Blaze don't listen. Sometimes it'll be like, oh well, maybe it is time to revisit that deal or try to get that again or whatever. You know,
exactly.
You know, like if people stop saying that on the like number 1 or 2 or 3 on their list of things that they want to see, if it just starts dropping off, where they just stop talking about getting that a license, then maybe they don't even bother trying to acquire it.
But should they really be listening to people that'll buy every cart they release regardless of what it is?
I mean, no, but I mean, sometimes it helps. I mean, I keep putting out the things like if you want to see like a giant man try to cartwheel down a hallway, there are things you could do, and it will happen. Like,
but the difference though is I kind of feel like we buy the carts, so not necessarily everyone else has to. Like we buy them so we can look at them, review them, talk about them. I mean, that's really the only way. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's yeah.
But by the time I look at them, some of them might be legacy,
and then I stare at the now giant pile of shame I have in front of me, and it's like, well, I should really put these in an Evercade and play them, but
yeah. Like those are the people. Yes, and that's why I like watching other YouTubers that comment. Like, yes, you want to watch the people that get all the stuff and talk about it.
I agree with you. Also, Phantom, I am in that same camp.
Yeah. I think what you don't.
I'm actually pretty good at slot machines, which is
what you don't want to see in any YouTuber. Somebody who agrees 100% and doesn't offer their opinion. I mean, maybe there's people who like that, but that's what you don't want to see. Like, you want somebody. But at the same time, you don't want someone that says like everything sucks. Like,
right.
You know, I think a lot of us do a good job of justifying why this isn't for us or is or what we do.
Yeah. Well, and we all have. I think we all come at specific games very differently because we're either looking for something differently or like we're looking at something it's all subjective, right? But we're all looking at these things in a different light, and then seeing. Like maybe there's more fun in certain things that are weird, and then people are like, "Well, this game is horrible, but I might like it because it's so quirky. It winds up being fun." Like an old B movie, right? So, but then there are some things that are like objectively a great time. Like for example, like I honestly was not thinking at all about Full Void this year, period. And if it wasn't for the fact that you guys were like, you really need to play Full Void, that would have never happened. And it wound up being, I played it once and went, wow, I need to, like, it completely changed my trajectory for Completion Quest. And it wound up becoming one just so I could finish the game. It was crazy.
I need to read this in Katie's voice or Smeagol's voice. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. Sometimes you lose, sometimes you win, and sometimes you win and lose. You're actually tied, and sometimes you're tied. You win or lose.
Nice.
Don't do Genejoke ideas for songs. But yeah, keep every card wrapped in what. So what's kind of interesting is I like initially when Evercade was my main console, like I wasn't playing before I got a Steam Deck. I was kind of worried, like with that, because they tainted, like kind of like change my views and things to play. But no, I think the good thing is anybody who's into something like Evercade, if you're into other, let's say, retro products and things, and you still really like Evercade, and I think it shows your opinion is more valued, right? Because like there's other options out there, and and that's why I say, like, believe me, I love what Steam Deck does, and it does everything for me that most other consoles don't. But the one thing it can't do is, like, when I know it's on order, like just the whole ritual of tracking down the cards, knowing when it's going to come out, seeing the trailer, like and then actually getting them, and then like maybe me and Rich are like sharing pictures, like like typically he'll just send me a picture. Sometimes we'll say, "Look what arrived today," or sometimes it'll just be a picture. I'm like, "Oh my god, you got this! You're late for fun stock. You suck. I want it." And then I get those, and like I love that whole thing, just being able to open it and unbox it. Like, are there goodies inside? I get why people like limited games and all that. And that's why I say, for me, it's the whole ecosystem experience in the community. Like, if you just want to play games and not care about any of that stuff, then my opinion makes like Evercade great. There's other ways to do it. So that's, oh my God, the chat's like, wow, so much stuff. So yeah. Right now, Konami's biggest property is Bomber Girl. I didn't know that was a thing. Is that Girl. Like, yeah, I didn't know. Oh,
if it's so big in Japan, Bomber Girl, huh? I never heard of it.
You're gonna lose gambling.
Which is weird. Why would they do that? Because there's Bomberman, and that's Hudson.
I don't know. Arcade caps do well more for the casino. Pretty sure
Konami. Oh, that's right. That's right. Konami owns Hudson. That's right. Yeah. I don't know why I forgot that.
Multiplayer online battle arena.
There is a Full Void 2 in the.
I mean, MOBAs are pretty popular, I guess.
Kermit the Frog in the house, yes.
Oh, it's played similarly to Bomberman. Okay.
Oh,
yeah, that's
a spin-off.
Yeah,
okay.
Cool. The important question is it on Steam?
Right, I know. Is it on Steam? Can I get it? Well, see, and that's what I mean. Like that makes
Microsoft
else...
Windows arcade game. So where can you get it?
Nowhere apparently.
But I am looking, a single game. I'm looking forward to another single game cart. There's just something really fun about that. I could
It's only arcade and Microsoft Windows.
Yeah.
In Japan only.
Oh.
They made it similar to like Oda Medius. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but that's like the Gradius type shooting game. With like girl characters.
Yeah.
So they did that to Bomberman. They did that to Bomberman apparently.
Oh, so they queued him up to Bomberman.
Yes.
Nice.
Is it kind of
Polygon described the game as horny.
Oh no.
Similar to their early game, Odo Medius. So that's what we're looking at.
I didn't realize it was that kind of game.
I said Odo Medius. I guess you maybe not have played that.
Well, I just thought Odo Medius was like, they threw anime girls on top of like the starship things, and then they shoot other things, and it's like, okay. And then they just filed that under okay.
No. It's check out Oda Medius and go.
I don't know if I want to now.
I have it. I had it on the Xbox 360 at one point because I like Gradius, but it's so bizarre.
I was thinking it's like
Mike, that's awesome.
That Super Gals game. I played it the other night where it's like the female versions of like Ryu and Ken. It's actually like, pretty cool. Like it's pretty. Like the girl fighter versions, that's actually like pretty neat. Like I played that. Like
is that what Rival Schools is?
No, Rival Schools is like high school. Like how like in Japanese high schools, like all the students have their own like sports, like baseball team, soccer. It was like they took like characters from each one of those groups in high schools and had them fight each other.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah. So what are we gonna say? Oh my god! Like I can imagine a cartoon of someone talking like you gotta take one for the team, Katie. You gotta go out there. We need Bomber Girl.
Or you think? Did you mention Gals Fighter or whatever, which was like SNK's girl only fighter? Okay,
yes. I was playing because I was testing out some Super Pocket, Neo Geo, whatever. They should make a Neo Geo Color Pocket Super Pocket. But anyways, I was testing that out the other day, and that game was just really incredible.
Wait,
I was
Neo Geo Pocket Color.
You want a Neo Geo Pocket Super Pocket?
Yes, dude. That you know what? It's the perfect resolution. The sprites are nice and big. Yes, that would be great. And if they could put a clicky stick, it could still be in the vertical.
That's funny because
then they can go back to Capcom, and we can get this.
Yeah, it's a device that has the word pocket in it twice.
There we go. There, it's finally.
Yes. Dude.
Yeah, but that was last millennium. We need one for this millennium.
That's true.
Oh my god.
That's true. What else is there?
It's time to play with me, big boy.
Oh no.
So we can clip that.
That would be Miss Katie.
Yeah.
And then we can get this one because this one is one of the ones that's a little more rare. On the Neo Geo Pocket Color.
That RPG?
Yeah.
Yes. Vasily. I don't know. Think it for G.
I don't even know how to say it. Come on. Do the thing where you zoom in. Focus.
Focus. There we go. I kind of
focus. No, it doesn't want to focus. Yeah. Anyway, there it is. That's that one.
Yeah, no, that assume I'm saying it wrong. Instruction 2. No, definitely. Like, I'm glad at least the arcade carts. At least the arcade carts we're getting are going to be like really, really good. Apparently, Katie is a miss.
Apparently, Katie is a miss. Is it? I don't know. I thought when you did like a Miss Katie or something, like they had to have a bow in its head.
Yeah.
This one was pretty good too. Card Fighters Clash.
Yeah, there's two of those though, aren't there? One for the
Yes.
Capcom side, one for the SNK side.
That's right.
Yes.
I have the SNK versus Capcom. Oh, this is the Capcom one. Yep, Capcom Card Fighters version.
But Ed, do you have the Neo Geo Pocket collections on Steam?
I do not.
No, because they're.
Then you can play it on your Steam Deck.
That's true.
Through EmuDeck.
Yeah, you could do that too.
Yeah, because they're way too damn expensive. They want like $40 a pop, or at least I'm like, dude, no, that's not.
They're actually pretty interesting because you can actually get 3D models of all the stuff and flip it over and look at it, and you can.
Yeah.
I don't know what you can do with the EmuDeck, but you could play these on like every single different type of Neo Geo Pocket, and with the different dot matrix displays and stuff.
For me, unless I'm sorry, but like Atari 50 has set the bar. Like if it's something like I will pay full price for. But if it's just a ROM dump, then when it goes on sale for $5, I'll buy it. Otherwise, I'm like, if they're not really giving me anything else special, it's kind of like what, you know what I mean?
Achievements.
That is cool to have, yes, but it's not worth paying like $40.
Wait for it to go on sale. What if it's $20?
Still too much for me. Like. For digital like retro collections, $5 is where I like to be because it's just digital. Like you're not, you know what I mean?
Doesn't it matter how many games are included, or is it just $5 no matter what it is?
It depends. Like okay, here's the difference, right? Like on the PS4, I think I was fine. Like with some maybe like the Konami, I may have paid $20, but without like hacking your PS4, that's the only way you can play it on a console. Like the neat thing about a Steam Deck is there are other means and ways you can play emulation. That's like super stupid easy. And I do like to give publishers and people like all that credit, but it's just, and then sometimes the emulation is worse. Like with the Konami collection, you can't do a 4:3 aspect ratio unless you want the stupid scan lines. So there, it's like really. There's stuff like that.
I don't know. I have some of those Konami ones. They have the wrong aspect ratio. That doesn't make sense.
No, they're 4:3, but like. You can't like in the Contra collection. If you want to play in the full 4:3, so it fits the top of the screen, you've got to have scan lines on. Otherwise, you can turn that off, but then it's pixel perfect, which makes it smaller. Like they don't have the proper aspect ratios like Blaze does and all their stuff. And all their stuff.
Well, that would be the right aspect ratio, but it's not filling the screen enough.
Exactly, that's what I mean. Or like at least on the Capcom, like the Disney Afternoon collection, they do give you borders on the side. And it fills it gives you the 4:3 and it fills the upper part. But for me, like I don't really like scan lines. I don't want to be forced to because the problem too with scan lines, especially with the Contra collection, it makes it look a lot more dim. And God help you if you want to play like the arcade version of Contra vertical. But then again, like what does shine in that collection are like the Game Boy games, like the Game Boy Contra. You can actually do it so it fills that aspect ratio without scan lines. So. I don't know. They think for some reason that people like want scan lines.
Actually, the Neo Geo Pocket collections, I don't normally have the scan lines on, but the way they did it in that, because there's no scan lines in those devices, but you can see each of the pixel perfect blocks exactly as you would on. So I really like the way they did it on that. But plus, there's different modes to do that too.
Not saying all collections, but like not only that too, but when Blaze offers you like a physical collection for like $20, you know what I mean? Like I feel like I'm really getting a lot. Or like Atari, I mean, hell, you get all these games and you get the history and it's a document. Like they Digital Eclipse put so much work into that. That like you really feel like.
But the thing is, though, too, is like with Blaze, it's like with one collection, maybe $40 in one thing, but. In order for them to put it on,
I'm here.
Okay.
In order for them to put it on the Evercade, they may have to make it 2 collections at $20 each, which is still $40.
Yeah. My Arcade. Oh, they're gonna be showing off the picture of the Game Station Pro, but an alpha size. Ooh.
Huh.
That could be cool.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was actually looking up some stuff for Mike's other comment about the Intellivision games. So yeah, outside of some prototypes and some other unreleased stuff. I don't think there is anything that could have been included in like a Intellivision Collection 3 if Atari and Blaze get back together and want to put out some other stuff. So I was waiting for Fridge to fall off his chair.
Oh God, it did look like you're nodding out. I was like,
well, because I had my phone. I was looking down at the phone.
Oh, it did look like
they should do the
I should have just been doing it on the thing, but it's like the phone was right there.
Oh my goodness.
But it's all good.
Oh, there's still plenty of games they could do for Intellivision.
Yeah, well, and then a lot of the bigger games that are like really awesome ports, like then you're in the double license problem. But some of them are easy to get. Like for example, the Mission X and Burger Time and Bump and Jump should be fine.
Oh, there's
they're all Data East.
There's that certain Burger Time sequel that's only on the Intellivision.
Yeah, Diner. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, that could be also all of those could be good because they have already a standing relationship with Data East. They might even be able to do that anyway without even bothering to talk to us.
Well, I don't think Diner's a Data East game.
No,
no, because I had that at one point. I had that at one time, and I don't remember seeing Data East logo anywhere on that box.
Oh.
And I think it was just like really in concept only. It was
like a homebrew kind of thing.
That's why it wasn't called Burger Time.
That's true. Right. Well, that's also why the other two games specifically have either the Burger Time name or Peter Pepper's name.
Yeah, and it was only on Intellivision too. So yeah.
Yep, and that's right. Yeah, Diner was only on Intellivision. That would be a great game to like make a stand for a Collection 3 to exist. Is just so to get that game out there.
But there's plenty other like just Intellivision games, just basic one. There's like the PGA golf one. I actually kind of like that one. There's the baseball one. You just have to get rid of like just don't call it PGA. Just call it.
Well, they released them all without the licensing. After what is it, 83?
Yeah, that's 84? Right. That's right.
They INTV Core released all of the sports games without the licensing.
But you know what? Some of those games might not work so well. They do have to be careful of the ones that use the number pad extensively.
Yeah.
So,
I just want to adjust Phantoms. Actually, Phantom, here's what they could do because there is an arcade version of Donut Dodo that's exclusive to like that platform that's kind of like a modern Neo Geo where you can swap out carts. And they added an extra level. They did 2 players at the same time. And I think if you were to try to buy that cart or board, it's like $1,000. So yeah, they could do that. Put that version of Donut Dodo, put Cash Cow, and put some of the other ones on there. That would make it. That would make it worth it.
It's only $1,000 for the board,
something like that, or like $9.99. Yeah,
that seems pretty cheap. Actually,
I mean that's 3 games. I would do that for a cart for Pixel.
Yes.
If it was Siggy and Donut Dodo and Cash Cow, I would do that.
Yeah.
Why not?
Especially since that Donut Dodo, like I forget what you have to like buy into that ecosystem.
Yeah.
That whole arcade, they have other games, but it's part of that. Like most like home users aren't gonna be able to get her to play that. So yeah, that would be awesome. Like I would love to play that other version and then add leaderboards. Oh, that's true. Yeah, I guess aren't the licenses split with Data East?
What do you mean?
Like they're split between 2 companies. Okay, they're split between 2 companies. Yeah, okay, I think I kind of heard that too. That like since Data East doesn't technically exist, but their licenses are split between 2 companies, and that's why we've gotten some on some collections. Yeah, that makes sense actually. Anything on Steam, co-transfer, Evercade? If it's on like the Godot engine.
Oh, you know it should have been on. I just realized. You know what should have been on Data East Arcade too?
What?
Tattoo Assassins.
Oh.
Based on your reaction, I can tell you don't really know the game.
No.
We're talking about a Mortal Kombat ripoff where they focus more on fatalities than anything else.
I remember hearing about that game.
It's a bad game.
That would be pretty wild, though.
It would be funny.
Yes,
why it was a bad game is because back in the day, Data East had a pinball division that was based in the U.S.
Ooh, that's pretty cool.
And the pinball division is the one that made the arcade game, and it was never actually released.
That would be crazy. To answer Colum's, yes, we talk about this a lot. So like a robot named Fight. That's like, dude, that needs to be.
Yeah, I'm telling you, and that's why I gave you that game.
It's still a lot.
I love that game. Well,
even though I bought that game like 3 times already, I'll buy it a 4th time for the Evercade.
Yeah, and I bring that up because I know people are wanting Dead Cells, but Dead Cells, like, they're actively releasing DLC. This has been out for a while. They're not going to release any DLC.
There's no DLC for it. There's never been any DLC.
Exactly, and there doesn't need to be. Yeah, and it's like it's a love letter to Metroid. Like, oh my god.
And it's a randomly generated Metroid game, and it's awesome.
Yes.
Huh.
Yeah.
Wow.
The thing
I'm realizing that there's yet another game that's from Pixel Games that I've played already, and it's really good. Huh. So basically Pixel Games have been like a Atari VCS studio like this whole time. And they started from like the very beginning. So Sir Lovelot, which is one of their first games, is on VCS. Siggy, a Farfara Melusina is on VCS. And then of course Donut Dodo, Cash Cow, DX, and then there's a new one that's coming out at some point. It's called Bobby Bombastic. It looks like a 2D pixel art. It says 2D pixel art arcade adventure inspired from the 1984 Intellivision classic Hero, where the player with his helicopter backpack saves lost miners in a vast complex of caves. That's awesome.
I kind of heard of that.
Great.
Actually, it's about noon at this point. I think I get going.
Yeah, we should probably. No, this has been awesome. We've been on here, Joe. This has been great. So, what do you guys want to plug on your channels for this weekend and next week, real quick?
I don't even know if I'll have anything because I haven't even started playing Aster Bros yet. I only finished Demons of Asterborg.
Well, I got at least 2 things because I got 2 things to play, and one of them is a new game for Atari VCS from Metkin Games. Khan, one of our buddies of the channel here, put out a new game, and it's called Metkin's Multi-Ball. It's a pinball game for Atari VCS, and I'm going to check it out.
Nice.
I'll probably be putting out that video sometime like later today or tomorrow, because I gotta play that. And then they put Mr. Run and Jump, the 2600 version of Mr. Run and Jump. They put that on a VCS, and I'll play that.
Dude, I wonder if they'll do a Steam port of that. I would if they did that for like $5, I would pick that up.
I realized, like, when am I live streaming again? Who knows? I like making videos rather than streaming them. So
yeah,
no, and I stream the pinball stuff really. So if there's ever like a whole bunch of new pinball stuff, maybe I'll stream.
Yeah. No, because somebody said or like you said, should you listen to somebody who buys or collects everything? Well, I'm gonna say Rich buys every game on the VCS, and you should absolutely listen to him, and he does that so he can play it. So that's
not the people watching. I'm talking about Blaze themselves. If they already know we're gonna buy everything, then why do they care what we want? Because they already know we're gonna buy everything.
Well, that's true. But like I'm saying, it'll still happen. But that's why I go back to my argument. It's like, well, if they want to see this, like, if they want to see a 40-year-old man act like a 4-year-old for a second, then that would be great. Then they can do things like, announce all of the things that we ever wanted on our wish list, and then it'd be great.
Exactly. But we'll buy them, but not everybody. Not everybody will. So that's kind of the thing. We'll buy them regardless. But
I only want to see more collection 1s from new stuff.
Yeah.
So Toaplan Arcade 2, okay, well Arcade 3, that doesn't surprise me because we already got 2 Toaplan Arcade, so we know they can get our Toaplan games. What was the other cart? The Data East one? Okay, well we already got 2 other Data East carts, so that doesn't surprise me that we're getting a 3rd one.
Yeah, or Technos. But no, I'll just say real quick what I have going on. So tonight on the channel at 10 p.m., around 10 p.m. Central, and I already have the thingy set up so you can notify yourself. I'll be streaming live tonight or tomorrow morning, depending on where you are in the world. And then next week, my next video, I'm going to be actually looking at the games themselves that would be on Evercade Alpha. Just looking at and playing the games, not talking about the hardware or anything else, but just looking at the Mega Man games and would they be, would they be fun? So that's all what I got going on.
Very cool.
And yeah, but anyone, Crow, do you want to have like the final thought before we bust out here?
Windjammers, yeah, that's a Neo Geo game and a Dead East. Dead East put plenty of Neo Geo games out there, so let's see some Neo Geo games.
Ooh,
Windjammers. Yes.
But yeah, other than that,
I don't like your subs. They give me the diarrhea.
You heard it, everybody. I do like the sub. No. So thanks, everyone, and peace.
See ya.
Thanks, Crashline, Mr. Shua, Immortal Sojourn, Sucker MC, Ember Cummings, Joe Whiplash.